Welcome everyone to another Aimless Adventures vlog here on, I almost said the Mark Twain, the Liberty Belle. Let's take a walk around the other side here. Just walking around, checking out, let the young'uns get up here, checking out the Liberty Belle, kind of do a little compare and contrast to the Twain. There is one major difference between this and Mark Twain. Obviously, we're not in Disney World. We're in Disney World. We're not in Disneyland.
Before we get too much further down the court, I think I should mention that you best not be sitting on those handrails. They're the only thing between you and the river. And the river don't always take kindly to uninvited guests. We've also had reports of river pirates operating in the vicinity, so I wouldn't lean out beyond those rails for that reason either.
All right.
Now, for those of you on the port side,
He's
that
not done.
river town we're passing is frontier land. A few years back, it was no more than
Port side would be over here. You're staring at the front of the boat. That's the right side. If you're looking forward, it's your left.
Oh, it still has its share of footloose trappers, keel boaters, prospectors, and an Indian or two. But mostly it's flush times, and well on its way to become a fine big city. Frontierland reminds me some of my own hometown, Hannibal. See that peak just beyond the outskirts of
Hannibal?
Frontierland? That's Chickasaw, or at least it used to be. Danvers a few years back, and
I think those kids thought I said
Hannibal. Some have even taken to ride and hauled out logs over the big falls.
Come on, kids, we're talking about Hannibal.
I never could tell a lie that anybody would doubt, nor a truth that anybody would believe. But believe me when I tell you, truth is the most valuable thing we have. So I make sure I only use it with economy.
All right, as we take a look around here, kind of see Big Thunder off in the distance, a little bit different from those of us who are used to Disneyland. See a considerable different layout here. Of course, folks right there looking across to Tom Sawyer's Island. That's still a standard fare. But check this out here on the Liberty Belle. Of course, we got the back end here. We got one more deck to go below. Not sure what's back here. It says life jackets, but let's be honest, that's probably not what's in there. But check this out. They've got a whole different seating area in here with various goods and folk hanging out, looking strange.
Younger than I will ever be again.
Or at least looking strange it had to be.
And his name for a friend from my boyhood.
As you can see, there's a lot of difference between this and the Mark Twain. One of the additional things that the Mark Twain offers that the Memphis or the Memphis Belle, the Liberty Belle, does not offer you is a chance to pilot it. You cannot go into the pilot's wheelhouse on this boat. There was a time, but that time has passed. Apparently some shenanigans, some hootenanny, some tomfoolery went down. And that's a thing of the past. I'm glad I was able to captain at least the Twain before somebody ruins that goodness. Uh-oh, here comes Big Thunder. The Old West. And away they go into the Old West. Uh-oh. Looks like we got some ruffians up here. Possibly some shine runners. Yes. That's what set Disney apart, right there. I remember when I was on the Twain in the Pilot's Wheelhouse with my wife, and we were running the show there, so to speak, Big Thunder. And the actual pilot there, that stunt double mate, said to my wife, who had a handle on the air horn, hey, when you hear the choo-choo do the womp-womp-womp-womp, throw a whoop-whoop out with it. I thought that was very cool. It's a way for the cast members to communicate with one another and have fun. Uh-oh. What's going on up here? Got a scroungy looking dog over there. Kind of looks like the dog from Pirates of the Caribbean. Gator Swamp. I wonder if that dude is related to the guy over at Blue Bayou. He had a banjo in his hand. Whoa! Gator!
And the miners and prospectors and get-rich-quick speculators showed up, and the name stuck because of the sound of blasting powder going off every few minutes. There's not so much blasting these days, just ghost stories about a runaway mine train loaded down with simple-hearted, terror-filled folks like you. Well, I'll be. Look who's drifted out of the bayou. Off the port, Captain. It's Beacon Joe. Old Beacon's been in Martin.
Beacon Joe? Wonder, we gotta warn him about that gator. They'll never hear us from here.
He can navigate the Liberty Belle on a heavy dew.
Maybe we can chum this little fawn into going over there. Hey, warn old One-Eyed Joe, or whatever his name is. Beacon Joe, about the gator. Or don't. Joe's doomed. That gator is gonna eat him, get him, or got him. Let's take a peek-see up here. Looks like we got ourselves some native folk.
Captain, Indian Village to port.
Now that's something you don't see much out this way. That other village off...
There's that scroungy dog again.
Well, most of the Indians along the river don't quite know what to make of our steamboat. They call it Hellor, which means fire canoe, because of the smoke and sparks pouring out of our topstack. The first time we passed this way, they thought it was the return of one of their heavenly messengers. They said our riverboat was a comet of the sun.
Looks like we've got some buffalo skulls up here. Painted in fine wares. Trinkets. Must be a trading post. Oh.
Those who fall in battle.
Sacred burial ground.
After nightfall, they'll return to mourn the great warriors who brought honor to the tribe.
Sounds like we got ourselves a little party going on up here in the Cave of Joy.
We're entering shallow water, but there's no cause for worry. Sam knows every shoal and shallow, every snag and sandbar in this part of the river, and he'll navigate us through to safe water.
It's Tree Snag Reef.
Would you, Sam?
I believe we ought never to do wrong, Captain, especially when others are looking. Leadsman, sing out.
By the mark, for the last three, halfway, for the last.
Only half of them, Mark Twain? Well, I want the whole author.
Those of you that have been this way before know that the water can get fairly shallow along this stretch of the river. The leadsman will call out the deck. Each mark is a fathom.
Like old man Wilson's got himself a party down in there.
That means safe water.
Looks like we're approaching Fort Wilderness up here.
Captain, we're passing Cutthroat Corner. Attention deck crew. Stay alert. If there's river pirates out here, this is where they'll most likely be. I can hear them from here. After all the commotion, it sounds like their interests lie elsewhere.
But there's pirates on the board making a run for it upstairs. Because if you got the ground, the high ground is where you want to be. Is a friendly. We're all right. looks like we're getting ready to come back into port. So let's make way downstairs, shall we?
Thanks for flying the waterways with us. I hope I see you next time around the listening. Rope levy is 1/4 speed. Man the battle line. Treasure, check rate and cargo. All hands prepare to dock.
Prepare to dock, and we're going to prepare to say thanks for joining us on another aimless adventure here on the Liberty Belle.
This time you have to keep together all your ones to take small children by the hand. You can really down the land, sit on the bottom deck of the boat. It's going to be the bottom deck of the boat, the very lowest deck of the boat, the deck closest to the water. That is our one and only exit. Thank you for riding with us today, and we will go the rest of your day here at the Magic Kingdom.
Thanks for joining us on another aimless adventure. I don't want to talk over the guy there. The captain was giving us instructions, and we best listen up. Check us out on social networks. Aimless Adventures, all one word, on Instagram and Facebook. If you have a good day, make it adventurous, my friends.